In our first story, the second Deputy Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, Alban Sumana Bagbin, has blamed what he refers to as challenges in Ghana's legal education on system failure. According to him, the General Legal Council is out of touch with reality, insisting the country is in dire need of more lawyers. Chief Justice Sophia Kufu has however maintained over the period she will not allow the mass production of lawyers in Ghana.
They've not experienced it before.
The Chief Justice has been, Chief Justice has been there, he's experienced everything else.
They've had, you see, they've had a smooth route to pass.
As in to...
They don't have the rough edges of life.
How can you
I'm telling you.
I mean, the Chief Justice must have gone through a lot.
What's her background? After she passed as a lawyer, where did she pass through?
She probably went to the bench, I don't know.
No, she didn't go to the bench. She started, but went to civil aviation.
Oh, so you know her?
Yes, I've known her for a long time. Before she was appointed by the PNDC government to the bench. And so I've known her from that time.
When you say smooth sailing, you're saying the struggle to be a lawyer?
There were so many opportunities, and so they easily grabbed it.
Okay.
Now the competition is tough because of the numbers and because of the difficulty in growing and creating more opportunities for the youth.
So they don't appreciate the current challenges?
The challenges that the youth are facing.
Okay.
And even the crying need for more of such professionals.
You almost are saying that they are out of touch with today's reality.
That's true. You are putting it, but that's the reality on the ground. They are completely out of touch. It's not surprising to you that the students that got first classes in the various universities cannot get entrance into a law school.
Yeah.
That is a failure of system, not the students. And we have to look at the system. And that's where we should be looking at, not talk about mass production or quality. Is he saying that those who pass the law schools are not quality students? Are you indicting the lecturers?
Well, we have the full interaction or interview. It's airing right after the show from 9 a.m. Well, moving on, we have, after several warnings to persons flouting sanitation bylaws in the market, the Joy Clean Ghana campaign task force decided to take action when it visited the Tuesday market. Several traders selling pork and other meat products, as well as fish, left at the mercy of flies, had their wares seized in what JoyNews Nancy Fajradosi describes as an action-packed day at the market. The confiscated items were subsequently said to be auctioned, but for the intervention of the queen of the market. Now there's more in the following report.
Last time Inspector Asitanga and his team visited 2 weeks ago, there were flies all over the food items on sale. Virtually all the items, including meat products, cassava dough, fish and plantain, had either been left at the mercy of flies or left on the bare floor. There were the preachers who blared out messages from their loudspeakers. The situation had improved on Tuesday, with the market looking quite clean, at least at the entrance, until Inspector Asitanga noticed some plantain had been on the bare floor. The market was indeed cleaner than what it looked like 2 weeks ago. It wasn't, however, clean enough for Mr. Asitanga.
Bring all of them. See the women on this list. Let them come and clear the place before we go. I'm sorry. If you say I know we mobile who say we na bata until mobile yina as an master team moja. Why do you expect us to come and tell you? We are here for more than 10 minutes. I'm giving all of you 5 minutes, or else we'll pack everything from here. You see everybody standing. We'll pack everything. So stop and come and remove the things, or we pack everything and nobody will sit here. This is road. A higher road.
The women were reluctant to clean until he instructed the confiscation of their items.
Take all these things into the pickup. Everything from here, pack it to the pickup. When they start to clean them, Do it.
I think they're supposed to read here, sir.
Today will be on you people until you solve the problem here.
The okra, crabs, eggs, pawpaw, cassava, and cocoyam were all seized. That was when they got to work, taking out plastic bottles from the gutter, while others swept and cleared overgrown weeds.
But you are waiting for us to come. Ma, don't worry.
In no time, the entire place was neat.
So next time you come in to sit here, turn and see whether this place is clean before. Now that you stand, look at the drain. Is it not clean?
It's clean.
Is it for me?
It's very nice.
Those selling meat and fish had been told to use sieves to keep the flies away from their items. They instead covered them with polythene.
I want to say, you see, more namna, your banana namna, man for sievings, your namna, your best easy. Rubber is causing the meat to ferment, to rot, to get rotten. The rubber is conducting heat and doesn't make the meat safe. So if somebody advises you that if you use the rubber, you are protecting the meat or whatever you are selling, I don't know where you have learned that technology from.
The pork seller explained her sieve was not ready.
Last, maybe I will see if you know what can I see. Let me see, Fabra. Just come and see. Look at the fly. You see the fly? This blue flies.
Oh, mommy,
Her sieve was, however, delivered shortly after. The cowhide, meat, or wilesela was found to have failed to comply.
Madam Jadenu, why?
Kofa was sieve, bra. One sieve, one. Obi there, you are seasoning now. What do you see in the bag? For wood and the black way, you are cutting or the take the taste away.
Other offenders were picked up, but Inspector was yet to see the worst. Elsewhere in the market, some cassava dough sellers were found selling in mud.
Baby, just share baby, I would just say, National and baby, I was a say, would the Tom be now move for baby, I would know.
Their items were confiscated amidst resistance as they claimed their sieve was still being built.
One year, my sister also got to answer one bomb. You think on one bomb my own year. Then I know to me, Aduma.
But Inspector Asitanga will not budge.
Your best is up, the best is up, be beer or honeymoon. You never call your office. Oh, I know I can't about your best is up. Oh, Mutia, your best is up. Yes, sister, your mamma, Homa. Muya have fire, night maba, no, you would your mamma. And I don't know.
There was also this corn mill, which was as dirty as an abandoned warehouse.
Recognize us. So the day we came here, what did we ask you to do?
To say I should cement here, then to paint here.
Okay, have you done it?
But my mother was died, so I traveled.
Your mother did what?
It died at
Akachi.
Yeah.
So you traveled. We'll close the place. We'll close the place by the standards that we requires of you to do. When you are ready to do it, come and tell us that you are ready to do it. Then we'll come and open and prosecute you before we allow you to do it.
Remember the preachers? Throughout the market today, there was no sight of a single one.
Gosh, what a great feeling to see laws being implemented. Right, two persons, Akwete Kwame and Mausi Amlade, have been jailed 5 years by the Koforidua Circuit Court for using children to fish on Lake Volta. The two pleaded guilty to the charges of conspiracy to commit crime, human trafficking, engaging a child in exploitative labor, and hazardous work. Two other persons were also fined an amount of 3,600 Ghana cedis each. Now, they face 15 months imprisonment if they default. 3 children were also rescued in the operation by the Eastern Region Police. Maxwell Agbagba has more in this report.
On that day, we did not go with them. One of the children was screaming. He had entered the lake to remove the nets. The man he went with left him. He drowned.
That is the voice of a child who survived conditions and treatment on Lake Volta. He was rescued 3 months ago. His story mirrors what many children continue to face on the lake. According to Deputy Public Relations Officer of the Eastern Region Police, Francis Gumado, a team of 7 investigators from the Eastern Region Police, 2 social workers and other stakeholders acted on intelligence to rescue the children at Echi Amanfrom in the Eastern Region. He says 2 of the perpetrators have been jailed 5 years each.
Were arrested for using 3 trafficked children, ages 8, 13, and 15 respectively, for fishing on the Volta Lake. And in the process, the children were rescued as well. During the trial, Akwete Kwame and Madam Mausi Amlade pleaded guilty to all the counts, and they were sentenced to 5 years imprisonment.
At a program by the Coalition of Non-Governmental Organizations Against Child Trafficking, members pointed to community and political interference as some of the challenges in the fight against child trafficking. George Achibra is Executive Director of the Partners in Community Development, PACODEP.
Interference runs through from political interferences, traditional level, and religious even leaders. These are all kind of indicators that is even fighting us. It got to a time that we would not have even the chance even to get to the lake, because people have prepared their mind in such a way that they have people behind them, so that to the extent that they will see you that you are destroying their business. And the fact that if I take from the political lines, you get people of affairs of people, our legislators, some of the people that we really trust, that they have gone down to take days in, day out to enact these laws, or intend again talking to people, just because for the fact that they will go there and that is where they get their butter and bread. It has even at the point where the police are even doing their investigation. So it runs through all this. And I think if we are able to let everyone understand, I think our education must run through all levels of people to let them know that, yes, of course, our next people, children that will come and inherit us, they are on the lake there. It's not like a drama. It's a real issue that, especially at the flooding point now, if you go to see the color of the water, if you see the level where water has gotten to, it has even entered into the bushes, where children are still working day in, day out. Who knows what happened? Some get drowned, some are beaten, some get a lot of ailments that you cannot even talk. It's a waterborne diseases where the children sleep.
Executive Director of International Needs and member of the coalition, Cromwell Awade, says there are laws to deal with perpetrators, but enforcement is a problem.
The fight to end child trafficking in Ghana is a collective responsibility, both society, and by society I mean communities, and then the state. We as NGOs are doing our part, but if the state doesn't come in, and by state I mean political will, and if communities do not put their hands on deck and then push the fight, we will not get anywhere. Laws are deterrent enough for perpetrators. The challenge is with enforcement.
And that's it for the news. But we have more news as we review the newspapers. We have some interesting stories occupying the front pages of the newspapers, as well as the censor spreads and the back pages. Stay with us.